Welcome to Demo Days. It's so exciting to have you here. I'm Melissa Garcia, and I'm going to be your host today. But before we get started, let's wait for a few more people to join. So as we're waiting, I would love to hear where you guys are all from. So go ahead and enter your name and location in the chat. I'll start with me. I'm from Salt Lake City. We're tuning in here from Salt Lake. So really enjoy being in the mountains out here. I'm a military brat too, so move around a ton, seen a lot of different places. Oh, we have Roseville, California. Oh, Denver, Colorado from Paige. Awesome. I love Denver. I love that area. San Diego, yes. I lived in Fallbrook, California for many years. So I love San Diego. Saratoga Springs, right down the road. Palo Alto, yes. That's where headquarters are. San Francisco Bay Area, yes, beautiful area. Love the California area. Well, that's awesome. Well, great. I think we can go ahead and get started. So again, welcome to Demo Days. This is the first of a series that we are going to be hopefully having every quarter. This is for the customers like you that want to learn more about our products and services and get the most value. Our product team spends a lot of time updating and coming up with new features that help really enhance the customer experience. So really excited to be able to show them to you this week. We're going to start with Bill Pay today, tomorrow the dashboard, and then Friday our new AI business credit card, the first of its kind. So you definitely want to tune in for that. Let's see who else do we have on here? India. Okay, we have some people all the way from India, and it's probably a late night for you. So thanks for joining and tuning in. Before we get started, I have an icebreaker question for you. 'Tis the season to start traveling and making those travel plans. It's getting warmer out there. So I'm curious, which do you prefer, beach or mountains? Go ahead and add it in the chat. Okay, I'm seeing a lot of beaches. All right, we got some mountains. You got to get your tan on. Yep. For me, I prefer the beach just because I'm a Southern California native. So that's where I tend to go. But yeah, either one I would say is a great place to be. So as far as the presenters today, it's me and Nihar. And I would say that the best part of working at Zeni for me is interacting with the customers and really getting to hear their stories about the products and how the products add value to their lives. I've been at Zeni for about 7 months and have really enjoyed learning about the product, getting to interact with the product team like Nihar, and also being able to kind of expand some of my skill set. I've been in marketing for about 10 years. And like I said, I'm from Salt Lake City right now. We're tuning in. But enough about me. Let's hear about Nihar. So Nihar, why don't you introduce yourself and let us know if you prefer beach or mountains?
Well, thank you, Melissa. Thank you for the introduction. I lead our spend management suite of products here at Zeni, and really excited to talk to you all about MillPay today. I used to be a mountains person, but after our kids, especially the 10 and 5-year-old boys, they love the beach, so I had to go with them and become a beach guy now.
Yeah, the kids always win. All right, it looks like my background went out, but hopefully that's not a big deal breaker for you guys. Let's get right into the agenda. We have a lot to cover today, a lot of great things. We're going to talk about why Zeni Bill Pay. We're going to talk about how we measure up with other players out there in the marketplace, how it all works. So Nihar is going to do a demo going through the workflow of how to set up a bill. We're going to talk about what's new with Bill Pay. Our product team's been working really hard to create some new features to enhance the experience for our customers. So we're going to go through that. We're going to have Q&A throughout the session today. So you'll be able to ask questions throughout. So feel free to add those in the chat at any point in time. We'll also reserve some time at the end to answer any leftover questions. And then finally, at the end, we have a special offer. So make sure you stay tuned for that. And one last thing I wanted to mention is that we do have, we are going to be recording today, tomorrow, and Thursday's webinars. So if you miss anything, if you want to watch it again, if you want to share it with your colleagues, it'll be available to you next week through email. So keep your eye on your inbox. All right. So before Zeni, spend management and managing your finances was extremely costly, fragmented, manual, and slow. So we have several of our customers here on the call today, and you can imagine that that was a frustrating process for all of them before they came to Zeni. But now it's a lot easier and a lot smoother. But before, paying a bill would take 15 minutes or more. With bill pay, it's a matter of minutes. And the solution that we have is the one platform and one team that manages, a lot of different tools, not just bill pay, but our bookkeeping, our email reimbursements, and pretty soon our credit cards. And so all of those are synced into one experience. And you also have that AI working in the background to automate your workflows. We're bringing finance experts to the table to help also bring you fast and accurate results. When it comes to bill pay, and we have many customers on bill pay today, and they really enjoy it. And I would say not only do they enjoy the fact that it's extremely affordable, but they also love that it's fast and intuitive. So how does that happen? Well, we have AI working in the background, and some of the tools that our customers really like, for example, is our auto read receipts feature. So they don't have to type in the information manually. It's just auto read and inputted, so they don't have to worry about it. The other thing is instant approvals. Our customers don't have to go back and forth with their vendors in order to get things approved. It happens instantly. And those are huge factors in helping our customers really have a great experience with bill pay. Of course, we've talked about how affordable it is. If you have AI bookkeeping, bill pay is included in that. And if you haven't turned it on recently, feel free to contact your CSM or your controller, and they'd be happy to set it up for you. The other bonus about bill pay is the domestic wire transfer fee and the international payment fee. Both of those are free and no cost to you if you do have Zeni checking. Many of our customers do take advantage of this option so that Zeni bill pay truly becomes 100% free for them. The best part of talking to customers, at least from my perspective, is being able to hear their feedback, whether it's good or bad. We love to hear what our customers have to say. And most recently, we asked our customers, what do they like most about Zeni bill pay? And so these were some of the themes that came up. And then some of our customers left us these really cool testimonials. One said, I like how it is one step to getting a bill paid and categorized without additional work. It saves me time. And time is so precious, especially when you're in a business and you have lots of other priorities. The next one said, I'm really impressed with how seamless everything was when I used it for the first time. So there really isn't a huge learning curve. You set it up and then you use it, and it's pretty intuitive. All right, I'd like to turn the time over to Nihar. He's going to go over this screen and then he's going to jump into the demo. Like I said before, go ahead and add your questions in the chat and we will be able to answer them throughout the demo. So go ahead and take it away, Nihar.
Well, thank you, Melissa. So yeah, I think one quick taking a step back, when we started, developing this product, there were solutions in the market, and there are incumbent solutions, including Bill. But some of the tools or some of the solutions, what they had part of the solution, part of the problem solved. But we looked at it from a wholesome perspective. What happens right from the user experience? Who's submitting bills, who's approving them, and then what really happens after that. How does the payment get scheduled, and automatically how the books are updated. So when we looked at this taking a step back into the whole problem as such, our bill pay product was born out of that vision. And most of our customers who were using our bookkeeping product successfully they were using other tools and other solutions for specifically for paying the bills. So yeah, when we started creating this product, we specifically focused on few things which directly impact our customers. And part of it is like if it is part of the Zeni solution, we are offering it as part of the ecosystem of products. So you wouldn't have to like pay separately for the product, as Melissa mentioned. It's completely free for use. And more importantly, most of it is AI based. So we were born in the pandemic and the AI boom era. So most of the ecosystem entirely is now created over AI elements. And in the demo, I'll show you a few things as to where we added the AI, making things easier for our customers. But again, like we look at 95 to 100% accuracy of the AI. What happens in cases where we actually need a manual someone to look at it, from a manual perspective. So we also provide you an accounts payable service team. So here you will see that our team, which has been helping all our customers submitting invoices, they will be available to you rather than going for a full-time accounts payable admin. So yeah, I can move on to the demo if there are any questions, Melissa, or should we just proceed to the demo?
No questions so far. I think we can proceed.
Excellent.
And there's also a download of other providers that we stack up against. So if you'd like to download that, it's available right now.
Great. So let me share my screen. Hopefully all of you can see the Zeni dashboard. Melissa, could you confirm?
Yep, it looks great.
Excellent, thank you. So all of you are, most of you on this call have already been, customers of Zeni. You've seen the dashboard, but today it is specific to Zeni Bill Pay. As a user, and you will immediately see like our tiles here are customized to the user. So yeah, I've signed in as a super admin, which basically gives me oversight into all my company's finances, and part of it is bill pay. So the first of all I see here is my task is there is one bill which is awaiting my approval. I quickly log into it. I see the Zeni dashboard. I click on the awaiting approval, and I directly land on a page where most of these invoices are awaiting my approval. I click on it. I can read through the bill. I can read through the invoice. I can see there have been previous invoices being paid out to Zeni AI, and it looks great. From my perspective, it looks great. But before I approve it, let me add Melissa to confirm if things are great. So we have added this feature. If most of you have not used this before, we have added the real-time approval feature where I can go ahead, just select Melissa. Great, Melissa. You can look at it, and I can actually tell her. I can add. Could you confirm if things are great? And we can proceed. So one Melissa has confirmed and approved. For me, it's just going to be pretty straightforward to go ahead and approve it because Melissa has looked at it, and then this was something which is in her domain. So this is the real-time approval which we added recently. And let me actually go back and create a new bill for this demo. So when I click on drafts, and this particular button is available across the life cycle of the bill. So as soon as you click on the bills tab on the left side, you will see the 4 stages here, which is the drafts, approval, scheduled, and paid. And in each of these tabs, you will know what's the history, all the bills have been submitted in the past, or what are current approvals or the schedules which are pending. There are 2 ways to submit a bill to Zeni. So let me quickly go through both of them. The first one is obviously, you click on it, you click on the new button here on the top right, and you see the flow here. So let us go ahead and upload an invoice. So I got an invoice from Hule, and as part of the Pied Piper demo instance here, if you know. So let us see what happens here. So as I upload the invoice, our AI agent, or what we call as the invoice agent, automatically reads information using OCR from the invoice. So we have basically I've taken the vendor name right on top, and then we have the invoice number, the dates, which are critical for paying out the bill, and more importantly the line items. So you see everything which is the amount, description, which has been mentioned in the invoice here, has automatically been picked up. And all of this is being marked by this lightning flash icon. So if you see the flash icon across the Zeni dashboard, we have used it as to showcase our AI capability, our automated functionality here, where we pick up stuff from the invoice, but we go one step ahead. Typically, what happens is, at least the solutions today in the market, they use OCR, they get the details, but we automatically go ahead and then categorize, those line items. So here, if you see, Zeni has recognized that, this company, which is Huli, based on like the data which we have for our AI model, is does software subscriptions. They are a SaaS company, so we automatically categorize it as software subscription, which is part of your a chart of accounts in QuickBooks. So this is coming in from QuickBooks. We have selected software subscription here, but in case there are, as I said, there could be like accuracy. You can start training the model yourself. So if I actually go ahead and say this is actually like one of these accounts, let us say it's a short-term deposit. So what happens is once you start training the model as short-term deposit, the model learns from that, and similar transactions in the future will be automatically categorized as short-term deposit. But then we actually show you it in case this was an issue, you can go ahead and update to software subscription, which we actually recommend. So this is part of our AI initiative here, where each and every line item can be categorized based on the AI. So
we do have some questions. We could break for those really quick. Sure. Jennifer asks, how many super users can we have?
That's a great question. You can have as many as in your company. So we allow addition of people, using the Zeni platform, and you can add them for free.
Okay, awesome. And then the next question is, will this read Excel invoices too?
That is a great question. We are starting to, work on that. That is on the roadmap, and that should be out in a few weeks, and we'll keep you posted on that.
Okay, great. Those are it for now.
Excellent. So as I've uploaded the invoice, you see the vendor which is automatically picked up. I can go ahead and change this. So right now it's recommended as Huli because it's just taking the text. But let's say I want to create a new vendor. It's probably not Huli. It is something just cool, right? So I can go ahead and create the new vendor, or I can just use what Zeni has recommended. And I can go ahead and edit it as well. And you can edit the information for the vendor. So here is where it's automatically categorized as software subscription. The class is GNA. I belong to the GNA department, so it's automatically picked up as the logged-in user. And so if I'm submitting the invoice, it's part of the GNA class, and it picks up these details as well. So more importantly, what we do is we track these payments for 1099. So at the end of the year, it is a very crucial, a very intense part of the year where you have to submit 1099s to your vendors. We track these vendors for 1099, and our team works with you to provide those 1099 forms. You can select the currency. In this particular case, this particular vendor is a US based vendor, but we do support international payments, and you can send payments across. I believe the last number was 180 countries, but let me get back to you on that. And you can transfer funds in most of these currencies. We do support Swift transfers as well. So if you have to transfer USD to USD to vendors out of US, we support that through Zeni. So if I discard this for now, I go down, everything looks good. And let's come to the payment section. We've also have released another product, which is our Zeni checking accounts. So if I click on this, there is a list of Zeni checking accounts I can select. But that's for another day or another demo. But you can use the funds which are in your Zeni checking accounts, giving you interest for idle funds up to 3.3% APR, and we provide and any of these idle funds they basically incur interest. So no more of using checking accounts for 0%. Zeni gives you that even if you start transferring from $1. So let me go ahead and select accounts payable here, which is set up as my checking account to pay vendors. And in this particular case, let me select ACH same day. But for folks who have started using the product recently, we have also added this option as I want to pay this with Zeni. Essentially, these are offline payments. Assuming you have paid this vendor through another source or through another payment method, which is currently unsupported, let's say for checks. So a sneak peek into our roadmap, we are also going to offer check payments very soon. But in case you have paid another vendor using a check, you can track that in Zeni using this option, which is I want to pay this with Zeni. So in this case, let's go with ACH same day. And to best optimize for your cash flow, we look at the due date. In this case, it is March 31. So we make sure the vendor would receive their funds by March 31. So we automatically adjust the payment date so that it reaches the vendor's account by the due date. So it also opens up your cash flow. You don't have to really pay it right away today. There are still 10 days we can start the payment on. So your cash flow is still open for 10 days. The next thing is what happens in an invoice when there is no bank account details. How do I even pay this vendor? So there are, obviously, as I said, so we do have our AP service team, which can really help you with, managing your vendor platform. We can, get information from the vendors and then be in sync with them. But in case you're not using our AP service, we have added this feature called Magic Links, or getting these payment information directly from the vendor. So I can click on collect from this email address, and this is the email which will go out, to that vendor. Hey, Huli, Zeni wants to pay you these many dollars for this particular invoice. So we also show the invoice in the email so that the vendor is not surprised as to, hey, which is this email? And then we provide more details on Zeni as a footnote for their information. So they can easily enter their ACH details using this email, and that ACH details is directly associated with this particular vendor for future payments as well. So you can do that, and then you can send the payment. We have also added support for recurring payments. So if this particular vendor is, you're expecting to pay every month for the next 12 months, you can set up a recurring payment schedule, and you can select the frequency as well. So it's weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, and quarterly. And then let's say I will support weekly, and then I can select the schedule as well. So that's the payment side of things. And the last bit here is the approvals. So as you can see here, in this particular system has been set up where this particular bill will go through multiple approval layers. And in the first layer is the vendor owner. So let's assume I have set up Melissa as the owner for Huli. She will get the first approval email. And once she approves, it goes down the chain to Scott, Swapnil, and Snehal. And once Snehal approves it, the bill is automatically scheduled for payment, and it will be set out for payment on the payment date.
You have a couple of questions if you want to answer those. The first one comes from Sean. Can I connect to multiple bank accounts?
Absolutely. So if you see here, you could actually connect multiple bank accounts. The payment right now is being used only from the one bank account, but we are currently thinking in adding the roadmap where you can withdraw from multiple bank accounts and pay the vendor. But it is an easy transfer. I would definitely recommend to transfer from your multiple bank accounts to a Zeni checking account, where you can use the Zeni checking account as the single account to pay your vendors. So that way, everything is clean, everything is within Zeni, and you also make the interest on the idle funds in Zeni.
Wow. The next question is from Madison. Can I expedite a payment?
So we do have ACH same day option here, and then you can go ahead and change it yourself. So let's say today's 18th, I can go ahead, click on this. I can just click on 18th, and you can as well do that as well. So this particular date is completely configurable. We default it to when the vendor should receive it, but you can go ahead and change it as well. So we also provide this next business day, arrive by due date, or issue on due date.
Awesome. Thank you.
Absolutely. The last thing I wanted to quickly go over is the approval rules themselves. So let's approve the approval. If I click on settings, which is the three buttons here right on top right, and this is where the approval rules rise. So here in this case, it is let's say if it is just a small invoice, which is $100, all it requires is just approval from the vendor owner. And it could be anyone in your company, right? You can set up, every vendor has its own owner. And that is an easy way, you can just set up ownership across your vendors. But if it is something which is higher than $100, and this is completely configurable, I can go ahead and just change this 100 to 100,000 or $1,000, which is appropriate for your own organization. And so if I do $1,000 to up to any amount which is after $1,000, you can set up this as well. I can go ahead, delete it. I can add new folks. I can even do an or here. So if I do Scott or Snehal, either one of them approve it, it's great in the second step. and then finally it goes to Swapnil to approve, and then we are good. The bill is paid out. So there is no more Excels, no more checking on emails. There is, no too much logic here. We have kept it pretty straight and simple. You do have these divisions here, and you can actually, add this logic for your own approval rules. Excellent. So once it's approved, it goes to the schedule stage and then the paid. But then it is once the bill life cycle is complete, what happens at the end of the day. So I go back, click on the dashboard, you will see the bill pay tile here. Is this $1,000 is awaiting my approval, which I just showed you in the beginning of the demo. But it also shows you realistically, like, what has been the payment, from Zeni Bill Pay. And thanks to one of our customers, we've got great feedback on this particular tile, where we can even configure this based on a specific time period. The team is currently working on that, but we will provide more updates on what happens. How can you even get more value from this tile, where you can just select, hey, what happened in the last month? It gives you these data points right for your consumption. So it's automatically updated, and everything is pretty much integrated with your ledger, in this case QuickBooks, and you don't have to go back to the Zeni bookkeeping team. Everything is automated. The bookkeeping team is also there in QuickBooks, and it's just ecosystem of products talking to each other. Excellent. Any more questions?
Yes, we have a question. Let's see. Can we set up approval rules for certain types of bills, or only certain amounts?
So certain types of, in this case, what we do was amounts. So let's say only for 0 to 100, you can set up these approval rules. If you're talking about certain types of, let's say I want to. So again, the vendor owner is something which we added, based on one of our feedbacks from a customer, that hey, I want to make sure that only these many bills go to let's say Melissa, and then these bills go to Nihar. And that's why we added this vendor owner, where if Melissa owns marketing and Nihar owns product and engineering, Nihar will get all the bills which are connected to product and engineering. And that's how you can use the vendor owner pretty effectively. Most of our customers have started using this, and love this feature. But happy to help with these, case by case, if there are any questions there.
Oh, perfect. We definitely love simple and streamlined, so that's great. Let's see. Any other questions? Oh, I do have another one. Is what happens if the payment fails?
That's a great question. So if the payment fails, and this is what our team has been, doing a deep dive and research into, why does a payment fail? So I think we have done a bunch of research. We have done, looked at a lot of cases internally and externally. And so if the payment fails, first of all, the customer is intimated with an email that your bill has failed due to these reasons. And then one of the most most occurring reasons what we have seen is insufficient funds, where the customer has already scheduled the bill, and then at the time of payment we realize that there are not enough funds to cover from that account. So what we have recently added is you can go ahead and you can see that error message in the schedule part. So let me quickly show one of our bills in this demo environment. So let's take Ample Market. And in this case, you would see that this particular bill has been scheduled for April 9. You will actually see insufficient funds here, if this has been scheduled for payment. So our team has looked into these cases and provide that reasons to you in an email, but also in the Zeni dashboard. And one of it is insufficient funds. Second thing is that there was an issue connecting to the bank, or the bank has set up an ACH debit block, where Zeni cannot really transfer funds from your bank. So most of these issues are now currently shown into your dashboard, but also emailed to you.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. We have another really good question here from Derek. Do you help with implementation, like transferring past invoices to Zeni, communicating new banking process to customers?
Absolutely. So I would definitely recommend, talking to when you are talking to our controllers, or if you're a new customer, you're talking to our sales team, definitely ask about the AP service team. So, they work on, if let's say you have a ton of bills currently pending, we can actually pull that from your current AP processor. Or if you do not have an AP processor, you're doing all that manually, we can pull that into Zeni Bill Pay, and all of those bills can be easily transferred here in the drafts folder, which you see. So you will see like, all those past bills into this drafts folder, and then we can reinitiate payment. And again, as I mentioned earlier on, that if I go ahead and say I want to pay this with Zeni, so this particular invoice, it's come in here, and let's say I don't want to pay this with Zeni, I just go ahead and say I can select that payment method from here. So I can use this, but it's already being paid from your existing AP processor. But then it's easily tracked in QuickBooks Online, and then shows in the Zeni dashboard itself.
Awesome. That was a great question. Any other questions from the group? Let's see. I think we can go ahead and move on. Like I said earlier, this webinar's been recorded, so you'll be able to see it in your email. Next week, we'll be sending these out. And then one thing I wanted to share with all of you is the next 2 demos are going to be through the roof awesome. So make sure you attend those. We've got the dashboard tomorrow, again, doing a deep dive into all of the features and benefits from that, but also, what's up and coming, and helping you kind of understand how everything syncs into one place and how AI kind of plays in the background to help automate a lot of the tasks that you were doing manually before. Then the next thing that we have is on Thursday, we're introducing our AI business credit card. Like I said before, it's the first of its kind. A lot of customers have already started using it and seeing a lot of benefit out of it. So you definitely want to join that. That'll be a huge one as well. And lastly, we have our special offer. So why not get paid when you pay a bill? You'll get $25 if you pay, make a payment and take a screenshot and send it to me. You can scan the QR code here in order to get the details. And you can also click on the link, open bill pay, and it'll take you to a landing page, which will give you all the information that you need. But yeah, $25 Amazon gift card is just waiting for you. All I need to see is that finished receipt. And it's by the end of March, so you have a couple weeks to get it done. And that brings us to the end of our event today. Thank you so much for attending, and we look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Have a great day, everybody.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.